physical exercises, breathing exercises, mantras, and other meditative practices. What really differentiates yoga from physical exercise is the inner awareness and breath control. So don't let your mind wander. Keep the awareness within you. Focus your mind on your breath and visualize the part of body you're exercising. That is what will bring maximum benefit through yoga. That is what really is yoga. Otherwise, it's just plain and simple exercise. Yoga is designed to increase energy of communication in body systems. It stimulates better immune system and body's repair mechanism. It makes you feel better. But the same set of palliative yoga exercises also has a therapeutic effect, and Dr. Rajan has innovated on a very unique yoga therapy method called measured yoga therapy, where we measure how the nadis on our fingertips are performing. And on the basis of that, we can recommend some very targeted exercises that can benefit your particular condition. So if any of you have any condition you want to talk about, you can email me or you can email Jayshree Prakash. The email addresses are right here. And close to 1,000 people have gone through our yoga therapy program, and people with complex illnesses and comorbidities have had substantial benefit through our yoga therapy program. Points to note about today's yoga class. First and foremost, please follow instructions to avoid any adverse reactions. Important instruction is to keep your spine straight and take support if needed. And do your practices gently without strain. If it is too much strain on the body, then it's not yoga by definition. Also, there is a limit in duration or count of specific exercises. Please follow it. When you have doubt, avoid the practice or seek clarification. But remember that the liability is entirely yours. Do not multitask or merge two exercises. The slower you do, the better it is for you. The other very important thing is regular discipline practice. If you miss a day, use the video recording from our yoga channel on YouTube, Life in Yoga Rajan, where we broadcast our sessions live and it's saved there automatically. Do not multitask or merge. Yoga brings good health of mind and body. It brings inner awareness and a sense of cosmic connection. Yoga, and with that, I'll welcome you all to our yoga family, and I will let Dr. Rajan start next time.
Namaste, everyone. As usual, we begin with 3 ohms. Let's take a deep breath in. So just the way in which we have been going usually, let's ask somebody who has been here fairly regular. I have seen. I see Azam Entezaro fairly frequently. What makes you so motivated to join us? Would you like to unmute and share with us?
You know, I have a mild, asthma. And I take the Art of Living classes. And from Mrs. Mohini. So, and I started just now, I think it's almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I like it so much. I don't know, I prefer every day if it's possible, you know, I like. But the only problem, I only take till 6:30. After 6:30, I don't have any idea. I don't know what are you doing. So only for 1 hour I am taking this class.
Oh,
and I have a, what is the, my lower back also. So it is very effective, I think, the exercise I am doing.
Okay, so you find for your back, it is very helpful?
Yeah, lower back.
Lower back? How does it help your asthma?
And yeah, because it's the breathing. Breathing is very good.
Aha. Okay. It is
So
that is
it's
also
very
helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Okay.
I like it, but I just I started. I don't know many. After 6:30, what are you doing and what is that for? What I don't have any idea.
Okay. No problem. Thank you so
Thank,
much for sharing
thank,
with us. And at some point in time, we can take a look at your asthma. Asthma, there are 3, 4 different conditions. It is very easy to give you major relief with it.
thanks.
Now, where are you located?
Potomac?
Potomac, then it is easy enough. Our clinic is close by here in Silver Spring. So sometime if you wish, we can take care of you.
I would love.
Very good. Okay then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now let's begin with our chakra vibration. Bring your awareness to the perineum and pressing on the little finger, we do Lam. Oh, the other question, is there anybody new today who has not joined us before, who don't know about the regular exercises we do? If so, please unmute and say yes. Okay, so let's proceed. Bring the awareness to the perineum. We do Lam, pressing on the little finger. Lam. 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 Release the finger and continue. Lam. Lam. Now bring the awareness 1 inch above the perineum, and there we do Vam, pressing on the ring finger with the thumb. Vam. 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 Release the finger and continue. Vam. Last time. Vam. Now bring the awareness behind the navel, and we do Ram there, pressing on the middle finger. Ram. 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 Release the finger and continue. Ram. Now bring the awareness to the middle of the chest in between the breasts. And there we do yum, pressing on the index finger with the thumb. Yum. 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 Release the fingers and continue. Yum. 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 Last time. Yum. At the throat, we do hum. Thumbs up, loose fist. Hum. Hum. Release your hands, continue. Last time. Now bring the awareness to the middle of the head, and there we do chum, thumbs up, loose fist. Chum. Last time. Top of the head, we do Om, thumbs up, loose fist. Release the hand and continue. Om. Om. Now let's go on to the happy face breathing, the Ujjayi Pranayama. So those of you who know it, please proceed. And those of you who need instructions, bring your awareness to the bottommost part of the mouth that connects into the neck, the hole through which food and air passes down. Focusing on that hole, make a big smile. As the cheeks come out in the big smile, you'll feel a slight stretch in the hole. Focus on the stretch, and as you inhale and exhale in a comfortable pace, you'll feel like a mild sucking sensation there. And as you exhale, you will feel a reverse sucking sensation there. Make sure you do it with ease, as if what we call with a meditative focus. You should be able to almost feel meditative focused at the throat. Continue. Now, let's go on to the respiratory mantra. Bring your awareness behind the sternum in the middle of the body and feel a rising vibration going through the middle of the body and out of the top of the head. And that rising vibration feels like Haim Em Haim Em Haim Em Haim Em. Feel it flow out of the top of the head. Don't focus on the breath. The breath is unconscious breathing like we do most of the day, where we are not even aware of our breath. Now bring the awareness to the chest and the lungs and vibrate Haim, 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 Haim. Just visualize a vibrating Haim. Now we go on to our spine alignment exercise. Bring your hands behind the back if you would like. You don't need to, but it'll give you a more of a stretch. Holding your hands behind, take a deep breath in, expand the chest, and as you exhale, gently tilt your head, bringing one ear towards the shoulder. Inhale, come back up, and exhale, go towards the other shoulder. Continue tilting sideways. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, turn your head and look over one shoulder. Inhale, come back. Exhale, look over the other shoulder and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come forward. With the next inhalation, lift up the chin and take the head back. And as you exhale, bring the chin down towards the chest and continue. Last exhalation. Release the hand, and now we go 360 degrees around the neck. Inhale, half a circle, and exhale, complete the circle going in one direction. And continue. Last exhalation, complete the circle. And now let's go in the reverse direction. Last exhalation. And once you complete the exhalation in the circle, we go on to the shoulder exercise. Inhale, lift up one shoulder. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. Inhale the other shoulder, rotate, and then bring it down. Continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. And now stretch out the hand, palm facing the floor. Inhale, lift up the palm and stretch out the fingers. Exhale, thumb in and make a downward facing fist. Continue. Inhale and exhale. Last exhalation, keep the fist and we go around the wrist. Inhale and exhale. Last exhalation, and then we go reverse. Last exhalation, and then bring the elbows in line with the shoulders. and the hands in a loose fist below the chin. And inhale, go around the wrist, open out the palms, and exhale, come back, make the fist again, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Interlock the fingers and bring it behind the head. And as you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Now get hold of the elbows behind the head. And as you exhale, pull on one elbow. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, pull on the other elbow. Inhale, come back up. And continue slowly with each exhalation. The slower is your breath and slower the motion, better the benefits. As you exhale, last inhale and come back. Now bring the hands behind the back. Get hold of the elbows behind the back. And as you exhale, turn to one side and inhale, come back. Exhale the other way. Inhale, come back. And continue. Last exhalation turn. Inhale, come back. Now get hold of the hips behind the back, and we will do backward arch, pushing on each hand. Inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch. Exhale, come forward. Inhale the other side and push. Exhale, come forward. Continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now let's cross one leg over the other. Hold the knee on the top, and as you exhale, cross it over and bring it towards the opposite shoulder and turn the head the other way. Inhale, release, and exhale, pull and turn. Last exhalation, pull and turn. And as you inhale, now we cross over the other leg, and let's do the same thing. Exhale, pull and turn. As you exhale, last inhale and come back. Now we will do both our shoulders together. Inhale, lift up both the shoulders. Exhale, rotate it and bring it back down. And if you can coordinate your breath, as you inhale, bring the awareness to the middle of the brain. And as you exhale, feel it come downward towards the feet, the awareness. Inhale and exhale. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now, we are going to do Bahya Kumbhak today. We didn't do it yesterday. So, Bahya Kumbhak is essentially full exhalation and holding out the breath, but we do it in a certain sequence with 3 locks or bandhas, as we call it. As we begin to exhale, pull up the pelvic floor like squeezing the buttocks, and continue to exhale, draw in the abdominal area as if you're taking your navel all the way to the back. And as you continue to exhale and the chest empties, bring the chin down to the chest. Hold out the breath for whatever is convenient for you. 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds makes no difference. But it has to be done with ease. Don't force yourself. Hold out the breath for as long as is comfortable. And once you're ready to inhale, very slowly lift up the chin and release all the locks and inhale completely. So let's do 5 breaths like that. So let's start by taking a deep breath in. Slowly inhale, come up, and continue. Last exhalation. Now, let's check to see how the air is in the 2 nostrils. If they are about equal, you're in good shape. If they are not in equal shape, then in which case, let's do the alternate nostril breathing. So somebody asked the question, what is the hand position in pranayama? I presume for Anulom Vilom Pranayama, right? If it is Anulom Vilom Pranayama, all you have to do is bend your middle and index finger and keep the hands in the opposite nostrils. the ring, the thumb on one side and the other fingers on the middle, and the ring and little finger on the other, and you simply do alternate nostril breathing. Continue. For those of you for whom the air is normal, the equal on both sides, simply keep your awareness in the middle of the brain. As you inhale, feel the awareness going there, exhale, going downward. Now we go to our spinal alignment mantra, which we have been doing every day.
We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, 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 Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jaim, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jaim, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. I'm Shim Jim Jime I'm Om. 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 I'm Shim Dim Jam 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 I'm Om. I'm Shim Jim 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 Jam I'm Om. I'm Shim Dim 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 Jam I'm Om.
Now let's go on to Bhastrika, the deep breathing. So all of you know it. So those of you who want to keep your hands in the belly, those who want to keep the loose fist with elbows by the side of the chest, let's go with the first inhalation. 1. And exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. 8. Exhale. 9. 10. Exhale. 11. 12. Exhale. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. 63. 64. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. 81. 82. 83. 84. 85. 86. 87. 88. 89. 90. 91. 92. 93. 94. 95. 96. 97. 98. 99. 100. 101. 102. 103. 104. 105. 106. 107. 108. 109. 110. 111. 112. 113. 114. 115. 116. 117. 118. 119. 120. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 30, exhale. 40, exhale. 50, exhale. 60, exhale. 70, exhale. 80, exhale. 9, exhale. 20, exhale. Bring down the hands, keep the eyes closed, and observe the sensations with it. Now let's go on to the second round. Get ready. Let's go. 1, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 13, exhale. 14, exhale. 15, exhale. 16, exhale. 17, exhale. 18, exhale. 19, exhale. And 20, exhale. Bring down the hands, keep the eyes closed, observe the sensations with it. Now, let's go on to the third round. Get ready. Let's go. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Bring down the hands, keep the eyes closed, and observe the sensations with it. Most of you, after this round, you should have felt vibrations more below the neck rather than the head. We will go on to a fourth round, and that will complete the saturation of the vitality. So let's get ready. Let's go. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 9. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Now, most of you should feel a heightened level of silence in the body. Vibrations should be very minimal. The mind is quiet. The body no longer feels like flesh. It feels like simple, like a body of light. Now mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. 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 Observe and notice that you feel the shoulders become lighter as you let go of everything. Even perhaps the head feels lighter. If you stay in that state with that awareness, and if you have a personal mantra, you can use it. If you don't have a personal mantra, focus on a moving vibration from the middle of the chest going upward and out of the top of the head. That feels like the vibration Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om. And as you do that, Om will play in the background. Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. And with that as the thought, become aware of your senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And whenever you feel like opening your eyes, raise the hands up and look straight into the palm of your hands when you open your eyes. So with that, we end the meditation. So today is the day where we have the discussion. So I'm going to allow anybody who wants to talk to go forward. First, I was going to discuss about the nature of water, how we understand from the Vedas, and what we understand from various tests that have been done. Now, before we go there, Hiral Shah, how was the meditation for you?
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajan. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Very nice. So how did you feel?
I don't know how to describe in words, but I felt like, some divine lights and, power is coming and giving me some, strength inside.
Okay. Anytime you have questions in your mind, if you plant that question in that moment, intuitively, you'll be able to find the answers.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice.
That's what I found. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So now, with respect to this, I'm open to any questions relating to our philosophy or any of this that we are dealing with. So if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and speak up. Specifically, I'll give you a quick summary of what I'm going to talk about. In the Vedic literature, there is one particular recitation that is often repeated at the end of regular puja. Typically when an arati is being done, now typically this more often done in South India than in North India, and that hymn is called Mantra Pushpam. And it essentially but I'll recite the little bit of it for you. But that is where the nature of the water and how it affects you is explained in the Vedas. So, and then after that, the various tests that have done, and that is something also I will share with you. Now, but before I go there, any questions or any other discussion anybody wants? We have 25 minutes time.
We have hardly heard anything about Maharishi Patanjali, the person, how he came into existence. There are some stories about Adisesha came as Patanjali, etc. Maybe when you get a chance, you can speak about that.
Okay. The thing is, I will simply attribute that to people's own, visualization. Yes. You want to say something, Sudha Trivedi?
Yeah, my husband has a question.
Yes, go ahead, ask.
Explain the use of Bhadrika in your yoga form.
Okay.
First,
And you're asking me, I presume, this question because that is one exercise we do a lot every day. Is that the reason?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. I will. So we will address this question first about what is the nature of Bhastrika and how we do it. You see, within our own group, like I was observing, and she's still here, Rajani Vare, and few others, when they were doing the breathing, they cannot breathe in an easy way. So the movement is always very fast. There are few people like that. When they move fully fast like that, then in which case they are doing exercising mode. In yoga, we don't exercise the body. In yoga, what we do, we say is we stimulate the nadis or the communication channels of the body. And the communication channels are electromagnetic communication channels. We are not talking about nerves. We are not talking about blood vessels. And this is what correlates with acupuncture and, in the Indian system about the Marma system and all of that. Now, what happens is when we do the Bhastrika we do in a very different way from the way in which other schools do. Now, when Bhastrika is done by most schools that I have seen, they do it very vigorously when they go up and down. Some of you might have seen it, right? How many of you have seen the vigorous motion people do? Many of you have seen it, right? Now, that is considered a violation of yoga. They are basically doing exercising. Now, in yoga, what we do is we stimulate. We don't exercise. So in yoga, the principle of stimulation is that the effort has to be mild. Ask yourself, when are you most receptive? You're most receptive when the mind is calm and everything is still. When things become busy, you're no longer receptive. If you're going to do vigorously, your mind is occupied so much in doing that vigorously, you cannot have stillness. But when you do slow inhalation and slow exhalation, there is stillness and calmness. And why do we do so many rounds? We do so many rounds where I'll explain this both from the physiological perspective as well as from the Nadi perspective. Now remember, you notice that from the, we always do Bhastrika only in the end. And we always make sure both the nostrils are of equal breath before we do the Bhastrika. So Bhastrika energizes the whole system. What is the meaning of energizing? It means there is more energy or power coming into the system. Now, those of you who know something about the nature of electromagnetic propagation, if you think of wireless towers and all of those, if you need a higher range, you need to give more power to the transmitter, right? So what happens is, that is why in Bhastrika we seek to do, increase the power so that the communication in the system becomes better. And when it is communication is better, it is not necessarily optimal unless the breath in the two sides of the nostril are equal. In Bhastrika, we say, if you don't have balance in the system and you increase the energy by doing Bhastrika, it will increase the imbalance. That is why before we do Bhastrika, we always do other exercises, the spine alignment, Anulom Vilom Pranayam and all of that. And that is what helps you to increase the energy in the system. Now, when the energy increases in the system, I'm first explaining the yogic part, then I'll get to the physiological part. When we are increasing the energy in the yogic system, what happens is, and in the state of balance. And what is the meaning of balance? The balance is, on one side, we are all what we call genetically programmed, or what we can say, what our cosmic purpose is, our inner being. And on the other side, we are engaging in this physical body with the world. And of course, when we are engaging with the physical body with the world, we have certain purpose for which we are in this body to engage with the world. So given our inner program that is within and the situation that we have to deal with in the external world, bringing both of them together is what is called being in balance. If you ignore your inner being and simply go by your mental logic and you engage with the physical world, then in which case you may go away from the way in which your internal purpose or your divine purpose may be. And that we say you're going in the side of adharma. Now, on the other hand, if you are only anchored within and you refuse to engage with the world, then in which case that also is not considered good, because what is happening is you're not doing your swadharma. Now, when I say this principle is something that is common to many, many religions, whether it is Judaism or Hinduism, that we are here in this body to serve a divine purpose. Now, there are some religious philosophies that basically says the entire physical world is a waste of time. You have to shave your head and become a monk and go away, run away from life. That is not what yoga teaches, and that's not what Sanatana Dharma teaches. Okay? So in other words, you cannot ignore the external world as if nothing external world matters. You have duties towards the external world, but it must be consistent with your internal program. And that is what the balancing happens within. So how does the balance happen within? Very simple. If you give energy to any program, that program will activate. If you pull the plug on the energy, that program will not activate. And what happens is, who is the controller of the energy in our system? The brain and the central nervous system. In a normal way, when we are not thinking and not doing anything actively, the brain is controlling your breath rate and your heart rate and deciding how much oxygen you need for the functionalities of various parts of the body. And it is based that upon your own behavioral pattern, which has set in over many, many years. So now what happens is, when we create the balance by doing the alternate nostril breathing, the brain begins to give energy only in a way that is appropriate to both the inner dimension and the external world. So your inner being as well as the external situation, both of it equally gives without going one way or the other. At that time, when we do Bhastrika, we increase the energy in the overall system. And that increasing the energy in the overall system, first what happens is, the brain is resisting. Why is the brain resisting? The brain is resisting because the brain thinks you should be in the way in which you have made yourself be. Whereas what you are saying is, you're taking control of your breathing. And by balancing and then increasing the breath, once the brain sees that there is somebody else who has taken my role, that is your spirit, your inner being, it has taken control, then when you energize with balance, it initially goes and releases the extra energy that is coming in to all the other places which it has ignored because your mind didn't want to go over there. And then as you continue doing more and more rounds of Bhastrika, where all the energy places have been fully satisfied, then there is complete stillness in the body. So that is why we do the Bhastrika. So from the physiological standpoint, when we continue to inhale more and more, there is a limit to how much oxygen buffer. We have the oxygen buffering system in our hemoglobin cells and various parts of the body. There is only so much oxygen that you can take. After that, if there is more air going in and more oxygen absorption, then in which case it creates a problem for the body. And of course, if you continuously go on doing deep breathing, you will faint. It is a phenomenon from a physiological perspective called respiratory alkalosis, where essentially the body's pH balance in the blood is actually maintained, the fluids in the body at like 7.4, and the range of movement is between 7.35 and 7.45, where when there is more oxygen, it becomes less acidic and pH level increases. And when there is less oxygen and more carbon dioxide, the fluids in the body becomes more acidic. And so this air exchange tries to balance it. But then if there is too much oxygen, the buffering system is constantly working to take it away. But there is only so much it can take, because beyond 99% saturation, it cannot take more. Then what happens is, that's when the brain, because it is forced to rethink the way it is working, because there is more breathing going on, it releases the oxygen through the blood supply for functionalities that were not being fulfilled. And as a result of which, you find complete balance coming into the body. So, Mr. Trivedi, did that answer the question in the various dimensionalities, or do you have a further follow-up question?
Bolo.
Uh,
Bolo.
I will have to think what you said and digest it before I will again have the question.
No
if at
problem.
all.
No problem. We'll engage on the subject again at a later time. But this is the reason when you do Bhastrika like this, after doing this, you feel a high level of integration and calmness. So thank you for this question. I'm sure others would have been interested in this answer too. So, Ms. Gulshan Singh, why don't you go ahead and speak up?
Dr. Rajan, namaskar.
Namaskar.
I would just like to know what name you give to the school of yoga you teach, and if there is any information available by which you can get some more, some more information about it.
See, your question is a very interesting question, but I have another question for you. Do you do any regular meditation or any form of spiritual practice?
I do, yes. Actually, I have been involved with the yoga for many, many years.
Uh-huh.
The reason why I might as well just speak about it a little, if you don't mind, why I have been a regular from the time I joined is because I found a lot of benefits in the system you teach, because
Okay.
I've done several courses in yoga and I've taught also. And I find that this gives me a lot of peace of mind, a lot of help with my meditational practices, as well as good sleep at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about your previous meditation practices.
It was basically just silencing the breath and following it up by mantra. I have a mantra which I repeat. And so that's the only way I used to meditate.
How did you find the mantra?
I have my guru.
Okay. And so which tradition does the guru come from?
It's no particular tradition, just a visit to the guru and the mantra was given,
Sorry, what was that?
No, it was just a transmission of the mantra through a visit to the guru.
Through a visit to the guru. And where is the guru resident?
In India. In India.
I see. Which part of India?
South India.
I see. But you couldn't tell me who that guru is.
No, I would like to refrain from mentioning the name.
Okay. See, what happens is we will have a different discussion on another day about the nature of mantras and how it works, which will be a separate discussion.
Okay.
But maybe that's the good discussion for next Sunday. But to answer your question, what system of yoga we practice? That was your question.
That's right, yes.
Right? So we practice the system of yoga. That is the answer. Now, when I say that, obviously, you have been thinking in terms of, Iyengar yoga, art of living, whatever else, the Kriya Yoga system of, Paramahamsa Yogananda, and so many other this thing that you're thinking of, right? Now, what has happened is yoga is one discipline that has been, and where does yoga come from? It comes from time immemorial, several thousands of years back, where the man's quest for what is the meaning of being born? People are born, people die. What is the meaning of existence? What is beyond? There is something that leaves the body and the person is dead. Is the person the body, or is the person beyond the body? This is the quest that led to all of this yogic inquiry. And depending upon which tradition people were born, in that persuasion, in pursuing that inquiry, what they were able to do was they did some practice or the other. And that some practice or the other, what did it really do for them? It activated the Nadi system or the electromagnetic communication in our system. And that is through which awareness comes. We connect into the cosmos. And the cosmos is the source of supreme intelligence, and it gives you that intelligence. When you can ask, you can get it. Like today, we were talking to Hiral Shah a little moment ago. I noticed she was in the height of meditation. And so I liked it very much. So I asked her how she was feeling, and I was telling her how she can intuitively ask the question and she will get the answer right over there, right? So now what is happening is, this is the real source where yoga began. But depending upon which tradition you were in, somebody popped a certain, what is called these days as the psychedelic drugs that may be there in the Himalayas or in the Amazon jungle or wherever. And they had that high experience. And then they said, this is the way for me to go and experience that yoga. Somebody else had some kind of an image or view of the nature of God. And so they were mentally letting go, surrendering to God, and they experienced it. And they said, oh, this is the way to do yoga, that for me to connect. And somebody else had nothing but, they walked up to a mountain in the top of the peak, and suddenly they found their awareness opened up. And they said, oh, this is the place. This is where yoga comes, kind of thing. So each person, and but depending upon their own experience, started putting their own this thing, okay? Now, what happens is, yoga is not a set of practices. And yoga is a system of activating the nadis. And for each person is different. So for each person, the stimulation of activating the nadis is different. So anytime you think in terms of yoga as a set of practices, you will see differences in the yoga. Whereas if you think in yoga as activating the nadis, yoga is one. Okay? And it doesn't matter which culture or which civilization it comes from, which religion it comes from. Religion came essentially out of this question inquiry of yoga. Whereas the core of every religion is yoga, if you look at everything else that comes outside, somebody feeling if you did this, you did puja to this form of God or that's when the connection happens. That is the religion coming, because that is where the outer shell begins to come. So the key part for us is, I did not, everything that we do here, we have developed it on our own. We did not go and pick some system from somewhere. We created our own system. And the system essentially came out of the, I'm going to share a little bit of a personal story over here in the 4 minutes that we have that gives you a sense of how the system evolved. Going back in 1995, that is what, now a good 26 years back, I had an experience where I had a moment in life that was a little troubling. And I asked myself, why is this all happening to me? And previously, going from 1981, so I had been doing regular meditation practices. I'd learned the transcendental meditation from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's system. Then in the early 1990s, I had a curiosity to know about Hatha Yoga. So I went and learned the Hatha Yoga system also from the, initially from the, in Virginia, in Charlottesville, the Sachidananda Ashram, Integral Yoga. I learned from there. And then I learned a little bit more from a person called Swami Bua, who was in New York. And I put them all together, but I was not, I did my own set of practice based on that. But then in 1995, during that difficult moment, I had been a meditator for 14 years with mantra. And I used to feel very good. Actually, once I started doing the mantra, within a week, I could feel how my head cleared up, my power of concentration. And I was doing all of that only for the, what I would say, the benefits, the physical benefits it was giving me, and physical and mental benefit, whereby I could be more productive in my work. To me, it was a productivity tool in those days. So in 1995, when this had happened, I sat in meditation and I asked, why is this happening to me? And when I ask that question, I immediately go into a mode of stillness. And it's like I'm watching a silent movie. I don't recognize anybody's faces in that silent movie. And the voice is telling me behind, this is you, and this is so-and-so from this lifetime whom I had known, and all of these things. And I see a whole drama going on over there. And then the thing is, when I came out of that, it almost looked like a previous lifetime. And so when I saw that, the way in which I have been brought up, from a, scientific perspective with my, PhD academic approach and all of that, this is not something that I could kind of fully believe in. And so I shared with a meditator friend of mine, not what I saw. I just told him I had this crazy kind of experience. So immediately this meditator friend said, you know what, there is this faculty in the Annapolis, US Annapolis Naval Institute. And that person has the ability, if he looks at people, he can know all about their previous lifetime. And of course, that person would never admit he had these abilities. But then because of my friend, I got introduced to him. And at the third meeting I had with him, and that was a situation where I was meeting him only one-on-one, and it was not a planned meeting. It just happened that way. At that point in time, he asked me to sit down, and he asked me, does this mean anything? Does that mean anything? And he was telling me everything he had seen. What I had seen, he was telling me. I had not shared it with anyone. And that is when I became convinced. And that was 2 years after the experience in 1997, when he told me this, when I became convinced I had experienced a previous lifetime. Then after that thing, starting after this incident, I would meet people who will come and teach me things that I was not looking to learn. Somebody taught me Reiki. Somebody came and taught me how crystals work, crystal healing. What is the power of Rudraksha? What is the power of pranic healing? So about all of this, I learned everything about magnet therapy. So I know all of that. So as I was, but these were all coming through, and I was simply like a sponge taking in everything. And then as I was in this meditative state and working through, from 1998, I started teaching yoga in our local temple. And initially, of course, I used to give only the mantras related to the transcendental meditation, how you can take it up. So that was where we were focused on. And as we saw how the nadi was, as I became aware of the nadis, that is when slowly we observed and built the system. Actually, our system, how we have developed it, has changed over these years. A very big important change came from 2008. What had happened was in 2008, I met a person called Alan Fisher. Alan Fisher? Yes, Alan Fisher. This man is a South African, and he has written a book called Chakra Meditation. And he was presenting at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda in Maryland. So that was the first International Day of Yoga, not International Day, sorry, Yoga Week, the first Yoga Week, National Yoga Week that was held in the National Institutes of Health. So various people were presenting and researchers were there. So there, this man, Alan Fisher, demonstrated the chakra vibration. So it's an auditorium, he's doing it. And I'm watching and I could see how the vibrations were working. So I went and bought his book. There was a CD and I was listening. And I began to realize this chakra vibration, what it was doing. And as we worked with all of these together through the realization, we put together a set of things. And initially, of course, we could only sense certain things. But now we know the whys and whats. It takes time to understand this, everything, right? So the why and what is, we are, as the yoga and the Ayurvedic system, they works with the 3-body concept. the gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body. So the causal body is and the chakra system. The linkage over there is what is called that linkage is where all the stress forms that are of deep-rooted stress. And that is the zone of mental health issues as well as autoimmune conditions. Then the conflict between the subtle body and the gross body is the place where other types of stress that causes. So that's how we built this system, where first you clear out the conflict between the causal body and the subtle body with chakra vibration. And after that, when you clear, the Ujjayi pranayam is the basis whereby the different parts of the body are able to better communicate to the brain about their energy needs. And then after that, we are only focused on increasing the energy. And that is how we have built the system, the balance and this thing. So that is essentially the system, and it is something that we have developed. It's not borrowed from anywhere.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Rajan.
Okay. So those of you who are interested in learning about the therapeutic modalities that we use, the next session is coming in September. And so if you want to look it up on the website, you can look up on the website. And we generally plan to have about 15 people trained in each session. And based upon our Life in Yoga mission of where people are located, so that we can have more trained therapists in different parts of the country and the world, we actually select people. So if any of you are interested, feel free to look at the website, and we'll take it from there.
I have a question.
So namaste, everyone. So we'll close for today.
Is that going to be in person, Dr. Rajan? Or
The therapy training,
therapy training, yes.
you look that up. Actually, what happens is these days, when we are one-on-one on video call, it is almost like being in person, right? And what happens is there is a lot of things that can be done. We also plan on annual retreats where for a period of like a week or so, we will all be gathering together. That will be the in-person aspect, but both of them are integrated together.